this is One Leeds. Welcome back to the latest video. This video, as always, is sponsored by Shop GNO, The Job Match Group, and Match Bingo. Let's get into it. First up, The Job Match Group. Whether you're looking for your next big gig or just browsing, The Job Match Group has niche job sites made just for you. F1, retail, security, and loads more. They're about matching the right person to the right job. Make sure you check them out if you're ready to level up your career. Then we've got Shop GNO, an exciting new e-commerce site where you can grab exclusive deals and discounts. Right now, One Leeds has an affiliate link just below where you can score a 25 quid membership for free, unlocking special rates and benefits. You can even list your own shop on there with way better rates than Amazon, eBay, and Vinted. They've got some Leeds bits and some general bits now and launching soon, plus some great prizes just for signing up. This is all powered by a massive Leeds United fan looking to make waves in the online shopping world. So check them out and support your local. And don't forget our mates at Match Bingo. They're smashing it with footy fun. You can get 5 bingo cards for the price of 4 through One Leeds, and you can even deposit just $5 at a time to join the action. It's a big chance to win whilst having a blast with your fellow Leeds United friends. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Check the links in the description, and let's get on with the video. Hello, everybody. What is going on in your world? My name is Conor McGilligan. This is One Leeds. And of course, this is the Rumour Mill, your daily dose, your hourly, hour-long dose of Leeds United discussion, discourse, and debate. And of course, some news thrown in there. How are you guys doing? What's the temperature of everybody in the chat? There was nearly 400 of you waiting. Apologies for me being, well, I actually set the time a little bit later, so you had time to, you know, just diddle-daddle, get yourselves a coffee. I've gone and got myself a Starbucks double shot espresso, everybody. Now, I was on the hot lemon water. Where's that gone, you ask, Connor? Well, I had a few beers last night. I had a few beers with a Sunderland fan, which was enjoyable in its own sense. So I woke up this morning and didn't fancy a tangy lemon. Leave me alone, partner. I'm having a coffee again. Okay, so there we go. So my system is full of alcohol and coffee. What a combination. But everybody, how are we doing, everybody? Good to see a lot of you in the building this morning. It is too hot, okay? Think outside. I've got the fan on me. I think outside here at Elland Road with the guys behind me there, they've told me it's around about 35 degrees. So I've got the fan on here. It's a bit hot in the chat as well. The temperature is rising. Shout out Sean DePaul. So we'll wait and see what happens during this stream. But do us a favor, everybody. Make sure you're slapping a like on the video. As always, interact with us. You know, we like your thoughts over here. There's 713 of you in the building. There will be more. There will be more, so make sure you show that you're in the building by hitting a like on the video. Thank you so much. Let's see some of the regulars. Lofts in the building. Rivaling Carl yesterday, 18 months a member. Shout out to you, my friend. Good to see you in the building as well. Morning, Connor. Hello, Tom. Good morning, Rich. How's it going? Brett, it is. It's flipping hot, isn't it, mate? Morning, everybody. Good day, Con. Good vid on the second channel, pal. Thank you so much, James. If you guys are interested, make sure you check that one out. Sims Alabama says, morning. Morning, Dave. Morning, everyone. Lee's in the building. How you doing, Lee? What's going on? Doing an FPL league this year, Con. Of course, my man. And this time, I'm going to stick to it because guess what? It's the Premier League, and we don't do that stuff in the Championship. The format's not great, and I get bored too easily, okay? Morning, Connor. Shout out to Matt, one of the patrons and one of the members who've been on this channel multiple times. Morning, Connor. Hope you're well, mate. We need to move on from Longstaff. Even Newcastle want more. Plenty more out there. Would like the GK position sorted. Jem says, good morning, Connor. Hello, Jem. Andrew's in the building. Absolutely throwing down the gauntlet this morning. Too much negativity on here. Just let recruitment do their job. They wouldn't be telling us to do ours. Okay. Daniel's in the building. Hey, Dan. Cheers for your donation, mate. Morning, Connor. Chat. Nice to catch you live stream. What's your preferred front prem for the 25-26 season? We'll get onto that, mate. Knox in the building. Hey, Knox. How's it going? Really hope we start moving on some signings. Hello. Greetings, Connor from Jerusalem. Hello, Ian. You could be the furthest away today. Okay, right. Okay. Oh, Connor, just keep laughing. It'll all go away. Right. Connor's context needs to be like a little segment of the show. We've brought in 4 signings. Okay. Everything is fine. Okay, we brought in 2 starters, Goodmanson and Biol. Now, let me know in the chat. Would everybody be this concerned if Sunderland weren't in the picture right now? Now, I think this is a big thing. Now, the temperature started to heat up yesterday after we saw Simon Adingra be linked with Sunderland, and you are now seeing Sunderland on the basically about to spend 120 million quid, I think it is. Obviously, the when it comes to actual spend, because they brought a lot of money in when it comes to Tom Watson, when it comes to Jude Bellingham as well, their actual expenditure is a little bit lower when you look at their accounts, and obviously their PSR, which is very healthy at the minute, because they've just not spent that much money over the years, which is something to take into consideration. Obviously, Leeds United have, so we're in a little bit of a different position. But Sunderland signed Simon Adingra, and this was the lay of the land yesterday. And then after that, very soon after that, Leeds United saw a third bid rejected for Mr. Sean Longstaff. Now, the detail this morning, the fine detail, whispers from the northeast suggest that Newcastle want Jack Rodoni. Now, it's not an ITK, but I was pretty much 99% sure as of 2 weeks ago, Jack Rodoni, it was signed, sealed, and delivered. He'd gone to Everton, and it was all just about an announcement. I don't know what the delay has been, but that's just a snippet for you guys from what I've heard from pretty much the horse's mouth. But I don't know if there's been complications in negotiation there. I don't know if I was maybe fed the advanced leg before them actually sorting out that first and second leg. I'm not sure. But I was told that Jack Rodoni to Everton was pretty much a goer. Now it feels like, according to Northeast reports, when it comes to the Chronicle, the Shield, Newcastle are very much interested in Jack Rodoni. Jack Rodoni is a fantastic player. I think he's someone who I would have targeted, but I always felt on here he'd get the label, and we spoke about him before, but he'd get the label. He's a championship player. He's not good enough for the Prem. We need Prem-proven players, which you guys know that phraseology just does my head in, the Prem-proven thing, because why not go out and buy talent across the 5 leagues, the top 5 leagues, and bring in attributes of which will transition into the Premier League and mean that these players can suit to the Premier League. When has Prem proven experience come before talent? Bring in talented footballers. That's what we need to do. I'm not, this whole Prem proven thing doesn't really mean a thing to me. If you've got attributes to fit into the Premier League, and you can deal with the Premier League and all those attributes that we've spoken about on here multiple times, versatility, physicality, athleticism, technical ability, football IQ, can transition into the Premier League, let's do that instead. And you'll be able to get cheaper value for players in comparison to the Prem proven thing. So, but the Northeast publication, the Chronicle, is reporting still that Eddie Howe is a little bit reluctant to let Sean Longstaff go. So I think this is where the build-up is happening with Leeds fans, and I'm here to calm everybody down. I'm the peacemaker. God, what's happened? Haven't we come full circle? But no, I feel like we've obviously got a period of time left, everybody. I think the problem setting is obviously Farke saying that he wanted the bulk of his squad for the 7th. That's not happened. Should there be panic stations? Should they be called the 49ers? Which I do love that nickname. It's quite funny. Just a nickname, not the actual context behind it. But no, I don't think so. I think Leeds, I've said multiple times that a week is a long time in football, and Sunderland, if you are comparing Leeds to Sunderland, have proven that multiple times. Sunderland, for me, and we have to keep comparing Leeds to them, because I think this is where a lot of the reaction is coming from. I think it's Leeds maybe stumbling with a couple of their targets, and you just seen Sunderland get ones from out there. When it comes to Talby from Club Brugge, signed. But okay, where's that come from? You look at, Adingra yesterday. Hold on. We're looking for a left winger as well. Where's that come from? Medical, 21 plus 2 million, whatever it is. And you're seeing all these big signings, and it is quite reminiscent of Leeds United in the Premier League in our first campaign. So it's quite interesting to watch, actually. But I'm not panicking about it too much. I think we've been quite methodical. I think the frustration as well is coming from the fact that there's a couple of targets of which our top journalists, of which I've said to you guys, maybe just keep an eye on when it comes to them just putting certain things out there, because they will be fed things by the club. That's where they get a lot of the sources from. They're fed things by the club. So the club will tell them things that the club want them to put out. Okay, and that's what you got to bear in mind when it comes to negotiation. So there could be multiple things going on behind the scenes, potentially when it comes to Rodrigo Muniz, Anton Stach, etc., etc. So the club will tell our journalists what they want them to put out. And we know the 49ers are very, very clued up on that as well in particular. So That's got to be something to bear in mind. So don't go in panic stations that Leeds aren't doing anything as of right yet. I think they will be doing stuff behind the scene. But the problem, I guess, now with Sean Longstaff is with Eddie Howe being a big fan, and him not like sort of forcing Longstaff out right now because they don't have a Jack Redoni, they don't have a replacement in right now. They would just be losing a midfield body who's better defensively than the likes of Joe Willock, who's going to be used as rotation as well, better in duels than Joe Willock. So you've kind of got three bodies in Guimaraes. You've got, I guess you could put Lewis Miley in there, the young lad, but you've got Bruno Guimaraes, you've got Joe Linton, you've got Sandro Tonali. Then you've obviously got Joe Willock, Longstaff, and Lewis Miley. That's kind of your midfield set. So if you lose an experienced player out of that who's been at Newcastle for a long time and they've not got a replacement lined up, that would be seen as probably a little bit of an issue for Eddie Howe. So maybe that's what he's thinking. And he's thinking, look, if we get more capital in, if they've had a word with Longstaff and Longstaff's like, look, okay, we can hold out for a fourth bid, which stuff like that does happen in football. I mentioned that in my video yesterday. We heard very early on from the Northeast publication and from our publication that Longstaff wants to get the best deal as well for Newcastle. So bear that in mind. If they're sort of edging towards 17 million quid, which I've just got a feeling his market value 17, if they want like a base of 15 and then add-ons on top of that, it's just how far do we go? Because we've built the sustenance of the squad, or we're building the sustenance of the squad when it comes to Bornau, when it comes to Nemecha. And Longstaff would come in as rotation as well for my detail. I mean, we spoke yesterday how the midfield dimensions would vary depending on the teams that were playing and Longstaff being in there. He's not a technical football player, of which, in my opinion, would be starting in Leeds' critical games, of which, are a must win. I think you need a technical player in there and a physical player in there who also can encompass that side of his game. Someone like Anton Stach and potentially Tanaka or Ampadu and Tanaka, it wouldn't be Longstaff. So I think that's the detail to it right now. Will there be a fourth bid? That is the question. Will Leeds go in for it? Berrin deleted his tweet, which I thought was quite interesting, about Leeds being undecided about a fourth bid. Could that have been sent to him by the club? Could the club have just said to him, get rid of that? Get rid of that. We want negotiation to be quiet. We want negotiation to be between us, Newcastle, and Longstaff. We don't want any other outside bids. We don't want any outside influence. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work. But I think there has got to be a limit for Leeds United on Sean Longstaff. I'm not, as I keep mentioning, everybody, for this complete categorization of a Prem-proven player. I know people like Kirsch and others who'll be in the building this morning really want that. For me, it's not a big thing. It's not a big deal. There is so much incredible foreign imports that have come into the Premier League that, for good value, for extremely good value, that Leeds could get a profile of Sean Longstaff, a 6'1" dual merchant who can do box to box, who can come from the European circuit for probably cheaper, and potentially a little bit more drive because he's just coming to the Premier League and he wants to impress. So, yeah, the overall scenario right now with Sean Longstaff is Leeds considering a fourth bid. Should we consider a fourth bid? Market value, as we know, is around 17 million quid. Looks like they're holding out after the conversation it appeared it's agreed by Longstaff. Longstaff wants to move. It was agreed by both clubs, it felt. When you look at the Chronicle side, the Shield Gazette, and you're looking at our side as well, it seemed agreed. But now Leeds are in a bit of a position. And I don't think it's Leeds been tight. That's what I will say. I don't think it's Leeds been tight. I don't think it's the fact that we won't go to 15, 16, 17 million quid. I think you just got to work out, is Sean Longstaff worth that sort of money? And the categorization in your head can't be, well, just go get it done. Just go get it done. Just get him in the building. It can't be that. You've got to rationalize. You've got to think of his role in this Leeds United side and if there are alternatives out there. Now, the positive for what we know about this, and we're going to get into Anton Stach in a little bit in the detail behind him, is apparently we're still pursuing a deal with him, and we're still pursuing with the deal with Hoffenheim. Reports over in Germany this morning are still stating that Leeds United are working on that deal. So, but we now know a price as well with Stach, which also, and we'll get into this further on in the video, this might be influencing Leeds as well, because we have a price with Anton Stach right now. But what I would say is, if you are a Leeds fan, obviously you all will be, but try not to compare to Sunderland too much. A, they're in a completely different scenario to us. B, their PSR is at an incredible standpoint right now. And C, when you look at Bellingham and Tom Watson, they brought in a lot of profit very early on in the window as well. And they've managed it, very, very well. But Leeds are in a completely different situation to Burnley and Sunderland. We're in a very unique situation, our own. So, Yeah, let's see what a lot of you guys have got to say in the chat anyway. Boy in the bandana, shout out to you, chat, mate. Appreciate it. Let me just have a sip of coffee. Thanks for your updates, Connor. Surely we can get an equivalent player from abroad for the price. And this is kind of where I'm at, really, when it comes to Longstaff. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not. It's not for me. It's not a. It's not Sean Longstaff's not good enough. But I'm not going to lose my mind if we don't get Sean Longstaff. The frustrating thing is, this is what it boils down to. Milinkovic-Savic, lots of very good reports linking us close to him. Okay, lots of very good reports, especially from their side. 2 million followers on social media, effectively in Damasio, linking us with him, saying that Leeds are insistent on him. Obviously, our side saying that he's part of the shortlist. You've had the same with Lucas Perri at Lyon. Now there's situations around that, which we'll get into in this video. There's Longstaff. There's Habib Diarra. There's Noah Siddiqui, who's come out very recently and said he rejected Leeds. He rejected Brentford because he wanted to go to Sunderland. So you've got 5 or 6 players who it's quite clear that Leeds have gone for. Now, we can rationalize this in whatever way that we want. We can say, yeah, of course they're going to say that. But realistically, I think it was abundantly clear that Leeds have gone in, or at least inquired about these players. Another one, Rodrigo Muniz. And with all of these, we've not really been given the hope that we're going to be able to get them, or that we have got them. And I think that's what's irking us at this moment in time, because when you look at Sunderland, it feels like Adingra, Talby, Diarra, who just got swept up from nowhere, Siddiqui, who got swept up from nowhere. So they're getting these random deals in, and they're actually in battle with us and winning some of these deals. So that is the frustration with Leeds fans at the minute. I totally get it, but I'm trying to do this thing which I did with the Niners last summer, where I judged them at the end of the window. Right now, yeah, it's tough. It is tough because it's the 10th of July, but I'm not too upset with what's going on at this moment in time. I think things just have to start moving. We all need a marquee signing. We need a 25, 30 million pound player to come in. If next week or this week, toward the back end of this week, going into next week, you bring in a Rodrigo Muniz and an Anton Stach, it is a completely different scenario. But I think we're all getting a little bit frustrated. I'll throw myself into that. I will. At the likes of, there being complications when it comes to Muniz and dominoes having to fall. Nick Pope, dominoes having to fall. Lucas Perri, dominoes having to fall. Milinkovic-Savic, dominoes having to fall. That is the frustrating side of it. However, we could be in a situation where we brought nobody in. We have brought people in, and the club seemed quite happy with that. So, but it is hard if you're consistently comparing to Sunderland, and I know I'm having to do that right now. I'm having to do that, but I'm also explaining where I think the frustration is coming from. We've got to stop doing that. It's a completely fresh situation for Sunderland, PSR wise. They're coming into this league right now with a fresh face. Leeds are in a completely different situation, so we've got to bear that in mind. Okay, let's have a look at what you guys are saying as well. Seeming as says Vazbeat says seem as though we only seem to get target one player at a time. Spending this time on Longstaff is frustrating. I completely agree with that, mate. Luke says we offered 30 plus for Muniz, and the money is there, but sticking to our valuations in this market, we'll see us losing out on top targets and end up with second and third choice. Dublin Leeds says, Connor, we have to admit it's very underwhelming at the moment, and I think maybe we don't have the money that we thought we had. I'm sick of the talk. It's unlikely that we get the signings done. Matty says, Connor, who is next choice? Who else could we get instead? Depends on who you're talking about there, mate. Depends on who you're talking about. Hit the likes yet. Make sure you do so, everybody. I know we have talked about Mr. Leeds KP, but he wants to come up. No. Savage potato. I'm going to be savage with you, mate, and I'll boot you out. I will stamp on that potato. None of that, my friend. Look, buddy, I'm all about opinions. We love a bit of discourse, debate, and discussion in here, but you are on the naughty step. You're in timeout. Do not lower our standards to this. Do you imagine going from Stach, the rumours that we've had, where it's come to Diarra, Siddiqui, and then going to Calvin? No, we're not even entertaining it. We are not entertaining it. Chris Allen says, outside of Beale, the other 3 have been signed by could have been signed by any of the other promoted club. Norwich under Farke could have signed Goodmanson. It's a lack of ambition that is concerning. Yeah, no, I get that, mate. Right now, I understand that. Aragorn says, considering we bid 32 million for Muniz as an opening bid, looks like we are willing to spend. Yeah, I agree that, and I think that's what Leeds have evidently been doing when it comes to potentially the strategy. Maybe what we've been doing is trying to build the sustenance first. And I was out with the Sunderland fan last night, and he was actually looking at our business. He was like, I think what you've done is quite good. I think what you've done is good. I don't understand the sort of hysteria around it. And I said, well, I'm a little bit like it as well, everybody. But I said, we're kind of coming from a perspective now where we've not brought in a marquee signing. But outside of Sunderland, who has? You know? And that's kind of where I'm at this moment in time, really. But maybe Leeds are saving the big bucks for the goalkeeper, and maybe Leeds are saving the big bucks for the striker. Now, are Leeds going to spend 40 million quid on Rodrigo Muniz? I don't know. I don't know. But let's get into a bit of the news anyway. Okay, Milinkovic-Savic looks unlikely. Reason behind that is because there are other clubs now interested. We spoke about this yesterday when it comes to Monaco. Apparently, they've this morning they've increased their interest in terms of inquiring about Vanja Milinkovic-Savic as well. On top of that, as well, reports suggesting this morning from Italy that Napoli are back in the race after moving away from it. They are now considering Vanja Milinkovic-Savic's release clause when it comes to it. So, yeah. Moving swiftly on from him, Jeremie Boga was a player who Leeds United were. I mean, I was on stream yesterday, and apparently Leeds put a bid in for. Now, Jeremie Boga is a name I've not heard in so long. Once again, this would feel obviously it's a left winger. We know Leeds are interested in a left winger. Apparently, Leeds have tabled a £13 million bid yesterday, but it was Africa foot, and I was live on stream reacting to it. The stats aren't great around Jeremie Boga. I'll be brutally honest with you. We'll get a little bit of stat pack up of him now. We did it yesterday, but we'll get the stat pack up just so you guys can have a little bit of a look if you weren't in yesterday. So this is the pack that Boga is sort of delivering at this moment in time. 24 appearances, 2 assists, 3 goals, goals per 90, 0.23, blah, blah, blah. It's not great. Now, if Boga was to come in at 28 years of age, it would once again, you'd feel be rotation. And yeah, listen, Africa foot when it comes to reputation is not great. It's not great. I think we're all highly aware of that, or I at least told you that yesterday, and there's several people saying the same thing in the comment section below. They were off with a hell of a lot when it came to Noah Siddiqui as well, which kind of put me off when it came to the rumour mill and discussing them a lot. It's rumours, but sometimes when you're just getting led down this path by articles who clearly just want retweets, it can be quite difficult. So I've kind of got them in the same brackets like Football Insider at the minute, with the greatest respect to like Football League World. But yeah, Jeremie Boga overall, it'd be quite underwhelming, I think, for a left winger. I think these can do a lot better, especially when we've been linked with the likes of Perri, who I'm kind of seeing as the cream of the crop at this moment in time. But yeah, he was rumoured yesterday. I wouldn't put that much onus on it, everybody, when it comes to reliability and dependability when it comes to the source. So let's move on swiftly from that. Okay, let's get on to the next rumour, shall we? Okay, we're back here again. Okay, so according to our favourite Graham Bailey this morning, David Moyes is toying with the idea of bringing back Jack Harrison, potentially for a fee. Now, there was conversation yesterday from the blue side and Merseyside that they were looking at bringing back Jack Harrison, and the only way that they would bring back Jack Harrison if he was on a free. Now, this would obviously be not ideal for Leeds United with the book value that we've got of Jack Harrison as well, and making a loss on him. But I think yesterday, when you kind of see insert, I don't know if you guys felt like this, but you know, when you're in the training video, and what we've got to say about the training video is there's been multiple training videos previously, where we've seen players in there who were a little bit like, don't want to see that. I want to see them moved on. And it's like, when I saw like Joel Peru and Sam Byram win the bleep test yesterday, I was thinking, oh my God. Oh, good God. It's great when it comes to their personal level, but I'm like, it would have been nice to have seen like 2 or 3 of the new players just in and around there and winning these bleep tests, but instead it was that of old. And then you got Jack Harrison smiling, and Bamford's there, and everybody's talking about his muscular arms, and I'm thinking, oh God, and I'm adding 1-on-1 together and making 10. But yeah, when it comes to Jack Harrison, I think the interesting thing is Moyes was clearly a fan of him. You know, he played him on. He's played for Everton as well. He's played on the right, obviously cutting inside on that left, but he's played on the left wing as well when Moyes came in his preferred position. And Jack is very reliable when it comes to Everton. Everton were playing him a lot. You know, Moyes is clearly a big fan. Dyche was a massive fan as well. So there's clearly something there which they both like. Now, this is one of those rumours where I can see Harrison leaving at some point for whatever value. I don't think he will be at Leeds. I think there is always a worry that Farke will try do what he did with Verba and try do what he did with Aronson, which he kind of it felt like he saw us like a bit of a personal accolade as well, which was great, to be fair, like integrating them back with the side. But Leeds couldn't really do anything with them, could they, when it came to Aronson in particular, because there was no suitors after his stinker at Union Berlin. But yeah, it feels like with Jack Harrison, there is no future with him at Leeds. I don't want to see him in the Premier League with Leeds. I've said in the Championship before that he'd still be my 5th option in the Championship. I don't think he's on the level of some of the wingers that we've got at our disposal. So, as I've said, I think there is hopefully a point of view of which from the Everton side, there seems to be, he's not down, dead and gone when it comes to their transfer focus this season. It'll be interesting to see what they do in terms of bringing profiles in. Obviously, they've got Tierno Barry in now. They've been rumoured with several other players in that offensive starting lineup as well. But if they want a bit of a reliable, bargain basement signing, hopefully they could front up the money, or at least front up something for Jack Harrison, because we're kind of in a position right now where I do not want Jack Harrison filling up a position on the bench. And once again, guys, I'll be honest with you, I'm not hearing any of this Prem-proven stuff, especially with his last 2 seasons at Everton, which have been considerably underwhelming, and basically him following the exact same traits as previously at Leeds United. So let's get into a couple of comments. As well, guys, I'm just going to put you as well forward to our sponsor. As always, you guys know that we are sponsored by the fantastic lads at Match Bingo. You can get 5 cards for the price of 4 when it comes to their brilliant bingo game, of which I'm involved with all the time when it comes to the Euros. I'm doing the women's Euros as well, so I'm getting fully involved with it as well. They're there for the club championship as well, which obviously Real Madrid got absolutely pulverized last night, didn't they? But it's well worth it, everybody. £5, you get a 10 quid free deposit. That's how I see it. I don't understand why you won't get involved if you're interested in these sort of bits as well. So get involved with that link in the description below. One Leeds affiliate link as well. Shop GNO, everybody, an e-commerce site which beats the rates of Amazon, Vinted, and eBay. If you want to save money, get over there. If you want to make money, you can list shops on there for massively cheaper rates. We've got the Pet Care Factory, who I'm shouting out on every stream as well. If you list your shop on there, I will shout you out over here, and you might as well, everybody, because these big companies are rinsing you. They're absolutely rinsing you. And there you've got a Leeds United fan who's trying to build an e-commerce site so you can save money and make money over there. So make sure you do that as well. Okay, let's get into a few of your comments, shall we, everybody? Let us know. Boga bang average, says Sally. Pejao would be a great signing, but haven't heard any more about him. Let Sunderland have Harrison and KP. They've got more money than sense. Yeah, I mean, they've just turned down Henderson as well this morning, haven't they? So I don't think they're going to be going anywhere near Calvin. Afraid we're just going to keep getting mugged off with our offers. We're going to have to spend more, put serious offers down first. Don't want to backfire and make other teams drive up the price. Dale says, morning, mate. Great show. I agree with you about KP. No room for sentiment. Yeah, 100%, mate. 100% agent talk. Keep moving, presumably when it comes to Boga, yeah. A Napoli link with Noah Atabulo as well. I feel the goalkeeper needs to be a priority. Chris says, I'm sure we can club together a fan group and pay for Jacks. Should we do like a one lead? If you sign up to Patreon, you can sign up to Patreon. Link in the description below. Shout out to all the recent Patreon subscribers as well. If you want to get involved in our potential YouTube videos in the future, our WhatsApp group, but if you want to link in the description below. But should we somehow just like have a little bit of a pot? Should we have a little bit of a pot where we're doing it? We might as well, mightn't we? And just pay for him to get there. Kingy's well, now you're doing Kingy. Bet you're not happy this morning, are you, mate? With a better manager, we get Pejao over Marseille. Yeah, I mean, what I'd say there, Kingy, is you do feel if it's Bielsa, Pejao gets done, don't you? You do feel. I keep going back to Bielsa. I can't help it. It's because it was our first stint in the top division with him. And you kind of just look at the names that we brought in back then. And I think we maybe all thought that we're going to... And we could do it again, by the way. We could do it again. At the end of this window, if we manage to somehow wrangle Pejao away from Marseille, Muniz, Anton Stach, Biol, Milinkovic-Savic, let's say, hypothetically, or Perri, that's fantastic. That'd be a really, really good window. This is what I mean, guys. There is time. There is time. We've got a long time before this window shuts. I completely understand we're going to be getting into the midst and the mire of the preseason friendlies very soon, and we all want to go there. Look, can I be brutally honest with you? I want to watch Leeds against Man United, and I want to see, I think it's in like 9 days' time, I want to see some of the new bodies. That's what I want to see. I want to see some of the new players. You know, if I want to buy the kit, I want to buy the kit and I want to get, Sebastian Bornau on the back. Do you know what I mean? But you kind of want that feeling, don't you? you kind of want the feeling of the new players being there pre-season. It's exciting feel. I want to be going over to Dublin, all right, on the 9th. I want to be going to Dublin, and I want all the Leeds players to be kind of signed, sealed, and delivered by that point. That's what I want when we're getting into pre-season. I'll give them a little bit of leeway because it's a very, very early preseason game, and we're clearly doing this with Man United in Stockholm to generate some serious cash. And it's probably been driven by that dark side of the Pennines because they've got no money. But overall, I want to be going to these friendlies and I want to be excited. I want to be going there and thinking to myself, oh, we've got so many bodies in. We've got this, that, and the other right now. I can't wait to see them in the sunshine in Dublin. I don't kind of want to be going over there and seeing Aronson in there, you know what I mean? And Perri up front. You don't want that, or Darlow in there. You kind of want the new bodies to be there. So I completely get that. I completely get that when it comes to it, Brett, honestly, mate, they're looking at everybody. I wouldn't worry about them. Love your channel, Connor. Thank you so much, Annoyed Panther. Are you an Annoyed Panther this morning? But I'm kind of getting a very downbeat Leeds community this morning, and I get it to a certain extent, but I just wouldn't throw the dummy out the bathwater right yet, everybody. That's what I wouldn't do, because as I keep saying, week is a long time in football. I am a tiny bit frustrated, but I will say the reason I am frustrated right now is because of all these rumours we're linked with, and we're not getting them over the line. It feels like they are really credible sources when we look at some of them. And we've actually been beaten to the pulp by like Marseille and Sunderland on probably 3 or 4 of them as well. So that's kind of the frustration from my side. But yeah, they're alternative targets. And as I keep saying, there's a week's a long time in football. Okay. Our man, who really would make me feel a lot better if we were able to do that when it comes to this guy. So Build this morning, who are pretty much the top source when it comes to the German reports. I think Kicker's up there as well, but Build is probably the highest. They've said this morning that Leeds are going to have to pay effectively 20 million plus for Anton Stach. So I think it's 20 million euros plus for Anton Stach. Hoffenheim are in a position right now where their most valuable asset is Anton Stach, and they are required to sell. They're in a little bit of a financial predicament where they need to raise funds. Leeds United are front and centre for Anton Stach. So I think the temperature of the fan base would get probably the hottest it's ever been if Anton Stach went away and somebody else came in and got him. I think that's when it'd be like, burn, baby, burn, disco inferno in the Leeds United fan base. But I'm still quite encouraged by this one. I think if Stach comes in, it's not either or as well. You got to bear in mind when we're going for Longstaff, it was Longstaff and Stach. And I think it's like a combination. It's quite a decent midfield duo to bring in. Stach is the priority. Anton Stach would be a terrific signing. He's the one of which, if that went away, I'd be a bit like, and it's not like it's properly got started yet, but Hoffenheim have slapped a price on him according to Build. Build have mentioned that there's interested club from the Premier League as well. Obviously, that is definitely Leeds. Every report suggesting that, Leeds are looking at him. But I think it's one of those things where if you guys follow me on Twitter, it's one of those things with Leeds at the minute where it's like Leeds are flirting with, Leeds are interested in, Leeds see him as a prospect, Leeds are fascinated by him, Leeds like the look of him and are considering an inquiry. An inquiry is being considered by Leeds United. Leeds are fascinated by the prospect of putting an inquiry in. It's just the phraseology around the transfer window is madness. So there's no just like confirmation, like Leeds have put an offer in for the player. It's been accepted or rejected. There's so much flirty language and phraseology when it comes to football transfers nowadays. It's become its own beast. But yeah, 20 million plus. It looks like we're going to have to go for Anton Stach. When it comes to the valuation, is he worth it? Yeah, 100%. 100%. He's such a facilitator in that midfield when it comes to a deep controller, but someone as well who shields that back four in such an unbelievable way. He adds physicality, height, but a technical and football IQ of which 100% fits into the Premier League. And this is what I'm saying. If you compare an Anton Stach to someone who, is similar in terms of like duels and in terms of that defensive work rate to Longstaff. And Stach has just got so much more to his game. But if he was a Prem proven player at 26, he'd cost you 40, 45 million quid. And this is why I kind of veer away from this Prem proven stuff. I want talent over just being Prem proven for me. And that's kind of where I'm at with it, to be honest with you. Yeah, easy, It's funny though, isn't it? Use the Diarra money to get Stach. Yeah, exactly. We know the money is there because we've gone for a price when it's come to Diarra of around 26 million quid. And we've done the exact same with Muniz when it comes to about 32 million quid. I've not checked this so far. Andrew, thanks so much for doing that for me, mate. We've got 1.3K in the building. Guys, it's every morning. It's every morning. We've got at least 1.3K of you in the building, which is unbelievable. At 10 o'clock, a lot of you are at work as well. If I was to do this, I can't imagine at 6 p.m. There's probably about 2,000 of you in the building. So make sure you slap a like. All the morning crew. I know it's not just the morning crew. There's Aussies, there's Canadians, there's New Zealanders, there's people from everywhere. It was a different time zone for you guys. But do us a favor, slap a like on the video. Let's raise those likes up and make sure you subscribe to the One Leeds fan channel as well. Pay that ting for Stach. 100%. I agree, man. Pay that ting. Man, you might sign Stach. Leeds are dragging their feet. Yeah, it looks like it's not just us thinking that. Leeds are fascinated by KP. Watch Sunderland sign him. It is funny. We'll get the targets the 49ers identified. We've seen it with Goodmanson and Beale. The club has been in contact with them for ages. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Johnny. And hopefully we're kind of at that point of which Leeds, the thing is, guys, someone told me this the other day. They said already Leeds have been linked with, in articles, they've been linked with 100 players. 100. So we've got to also bear that in mind. Leeds are a name. Sunderland are a name. Both of us are big names. So we're going to be linked with a lot of players. We're going to be thrown into this mix of players where it's, Leeds are linked with Evan Ferguson. Are we? Leeds are linked with Kyle Walker-Peters. Leeds are linked with whoever. It's like, are we? Are we really? So that's what you got to bear in mind as well. Take it with a pinch of salt when it comes to every single rumor. And if Leeds don't make that signing, then it's like, oh, we've missed out on another one. Well, no, not really. We're just being linked with everyone at this moment in time. When our local sources confirm it and people, even on the European circuit, who have been pretty reliable, like it's like the goalkeeper scenario. Perri at Lyon, Pope, and Milinkovic-Savic are evidently goalkeepers who Leeds want, evidently, when it comes to all the reports. But, when you're looking at these outsiders, I heard someone the other day, or I saw something on Leeds are considering a move from Michael Cooper. No, we're not. We're just not. That will never happen. But we are not doing that. That's not happening. So it's just something to get clicks. So always bear that in mind as well. George in the building. Thanks for your donation, George. Really appreciate that, buddy. If Leeds can get, let's have a look what you're saying. If Leeds get Pejan, Muniz, Stat, Longstaff, and a versatile right back, left back, maybe Juranovic, I'll call that. Yeah, 100, and that's it, mate. Five, and maybe a couple more bodies for depth. That's probably what we can do. That's probably what we can do. But what we do have to bear in mind is the outgoings as well. Leeds have to get outgoings. We have to get monetary value for outgoings as well. And that just comes with even just wages being off the bill as well. So we have got to bear that in mind, of course. Right, what's next? Yeah, we've mentioned Longstaff. I wanted to mention as well Tim Weah. Apparently Marseille are about to beat Leeds and others to the signings of Tim Weah and Pejan. So apparently for Tim Weah, the move is close to 15 million euros, which is bizarre because what we were being told earlier on is Leeds have to pay 25 million quid, which I always thought was a little bit steep for Tim Weah. But apparently that's getting close to being done. Obviously, we know that Weah is a right-sided player. Pejan will be a left-sided player. So it looks like Marseille are going to get that one completed, signed, sealed, and delivered. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. I see what you guys are saying in the comment section below about that one. Below 500 likes, Andrew. What's going on? Let's get it up to 2K if we can, everybody. Exactly. Good lad, Andrew. Thank you, mate. Ricky says it's frustrating with each player that comes in, the next player becomes easier and club becomes a better prospect. 100 Kingy says 100 players linked, 4 brought in, only 1 is an improvement on our championship team. I'd agree with that. Right now anyway. One's a first team player, isn't it? So you got to look at that, of course. Daniel's in the bill. Thanks so much for your donation, buddy. Again, Connor, I want to see a steady ship next season, then blossom into Euro football with players who are hungry for this shirt. Yeah, man, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be nice. Matt says, any more news on Pope? Is that not an option anymore? It's not an option, mate. No, yeah. Well, I followed up with it, and it feels like, and Matt's part of our group as well. And Matt it's not an ITK thing. Lucky enough to have worked with a lot of very good people up there. So if I've been told anything, or if I ask a question and someone tells me something back, then I'm quite lucky in that respect from that side of things. With Pope, it looks like and we've heard this anyway with our reporters, and presumably it's the same thing on the northeast side of things. He doesn't want to go, which someone said on my video, like, as a Leeds fan, how can I be so arrogant thinking that we'll get Nick Pope? Because I went on a bit of a monologue yesterday about why I think it'd be a good signing for Leeds and why would he stay at Newcastle. He said Trafford's not here that yet, and Pope, why would he want to come to Leeds? He's at Newcastle. I said, well, Leeds are a massive club. You're evidently going to get Trafford. As a player of Pope's standard, who's only got a limited amount of games left, or years left, I should say, in his career at the top level, why does he just want to sit and play second fiddle? You feel like if he came down to Leeds would pay him a good whack when it comes to wages. That's evident. But for him not wanting to come, it is bizarre to me. I just find that strange. And from the Newcastle side, from their side as well, not from our side, just from their side, it feels like Pope just doesn't want to leave, doesn't want to leave Newcastle. So he's okay with being second fiddle because they will get Trafford. They will get Trafford. So yeah, I don't know. Rye says Longstaff and Miley are Newcastle's only homegrown, so we'll have to pay more, obviously. Yeah, and Ryan, I think as well with that's probably why they're looking at Jack Radoni as well. Presumably, I'm pretty sure Jack Radoni. Nationality, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's British. So that's another reason they'd look at someone like Jack Radoni as well. So yeah. Morning, Paul. A big fan of the room mill, mate. Keeping mornings exciting. Do you know what the thing is as well? What I'd say with us lot on here is there's not been a lot of news breakers, but what I will say is we just enjoy it, don't we? We enjoy the discussion, the discourse, the debate. We enjoy it. I enjoy rocking back and forth with you guys. And if we get an update, we will. But this is what the room mill's all about. It's rumors. I've been detecting a little bit of hostility towards me as well in some of the chat. So, guys, look, if you don't want to be involved in this and you think I'm going to come on here, and I'll try break things if I can, but it is just rumors and we just discuss a lot of it and people love it. So it's great that we've built this community here for about 5 years now and it's still going strong. So yeah, it is. I wish we'd have brought in players. And as soon as we do bring in players, we'll be doing scouting profiles and this, that, and the other on it. But as of right now, yeah, wait and see. And it is quiet. But I appreciate you guys tagging me in bits. I appreciate you guys coming on here at 10 a.m. GMT every single morning. I really appreciate it. But right, it is all my fault, Rio. You're right, mate. My favorite. It is my. Do you know what though? It is my favorite time of the season. I love it. I love building the Leeds United puzzle, especially for the Premier League. It's a good period. So, as I say, guys, it's only the 10th of July. Hopefully, it's going to amp up, and I'm sure it will do. But we're going to leave it there. I'm not going to waffle on for too much longer. We've been going for 43 minutes. It's been an absolute pleasure, everybody. This is the only show on Leeds United YouTube in the mornings where you go for around about 40 to an hour every single morning. So make sure you slap a like on here, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. It really does mean a lot to me. Check out our sponsors and also check out the Patreon if you want to become part of our WhatsApp chat, which has already been kicking off. I've missed about 80 messages on there this morning. I'm Conor McGilligan. This is One Leeds, and this has been the